dear students. In the last class, we have discussed about the discoveries, right? So I have just given a hint about it. So in this class, or else during this class, we will see discovery of electron, right? So discovery of electron, how discovery of electron, right? So who has discovered this? J.J. Thomson. In the last class, I have discussed about this. So before going to the explanation, it was discovered by J.J. Thomson. Don't forget why, because one or twice this question has been asked, who has discovered an electron, right? So J.J. Thomson was discovered. In the last class only I have discussed about this. So for this we require one diagram, very simple diagram. So there is a discharge tube. So as I said in the last class itself, so there will be a discharge tube and we connect this with the vacuum pump. Right. And there are two parts over here. One is called as cathode. Cathode means negative. And other part is nothing but what? Anode. Anode is nothing but positive charge. Positive. And this we connect with the electricity. Right. One side you can say positive, other will be negative, like battery, one we can say, right? Two phases we have. And now, see here. So first of all, this is called a discharge tube, right? So this is also called as a discharge tube experiment. So the discharge tube is long glass tube, right? It is a glass actually, and contains two electrodes at the end of it, and which is connected by a battery, right? There are two electrodes, that means cathode as well as anode. These are the electrodes connected to the end of it, right? And the whole thing we have what this glass tube was connected with the battery, one we can say. I repeat, this is a long glass tube, right? At the end of it we have two electrodes as cathode as well as anode, and now the whole thing we have connected with what? Battery, right? This discharge tube is having a vacuum pump. So this is called a vacuum pump. What is the main role of this vacuum pump? I explain, right? So there is a vacuum pump in the discharge tube, having a vacuum pump which regulates the pressure of a gas. The vacuum pump work is to regulate it regulates pressure, right? So it will not make more pressure, or it will always regulate. If it increases, it will it controls the pressure in the whole vacuum tube, one we can say, right? It is a long glass tube having two electrodes which is connected with the battery. We have in the discharge tube we have a vacuum pump. This vacuum pump, what it will do is, it will regulates our pressure. That means it controls the pressure. It will not make more pressure, or if it is increases in the vacuum pump, then it will control and it will bring it to the normal condition. And the pressure of discharge tube is reduced up to 10 raised to minus 4. That means we reduce the pressure. If we connect, after connecting this, the pressure will be increased, right? The pressure will be increased. That pressure we decrease with the help of vacuum pump, right? Why? Because it regulates the pressure itself, right? So that's why with the help of vacuum pump, one we can do is we can decrease or increase the pressure. So we decrease 10 raised to minus 4 atmospheric pressure, right? We decrease it like this. That means 0.0001 pressure like this we will decrease, and then pressure and the potential difference is increased up to 10,000 volt. Pressure we have decreased like this much, and voltage, that means 10,000 volt we apply, right? We apply, we increase at like 10,000 volt, right? So what we have did, vacuum pump regulating the pressure. After connecting all these, after making every connection, then later what we are doing, we are decreasing the pressure and increasing the what, our voltage. I mean battery voltage, right? And then some of the indivisible ray move from cathode to anode. Very important. After making all those things, right? I will repeat once again later. After making all the arrangements, what happens? Some of the indivisible rays will move from cathode towards what? Anode. See, after decreasing pressure and increasing the voltage, right? What is happening? Some of the indivisible, we cannot see those rays. They are moving from cathode to towards anode. That means they are moving like this, right? So these rays are incident on the ZNS screen. So later we will see. So now come we will come to the conclusion that if the rays are moving from cathode towards the anode, means from the cathode, if the rays are moving, then what will be the charge on them? Why? Because cathode is will be negative, and therefore negative charge is moving towards the positive, means definitely there will be a what, electron. Like how he has discovered, that means J.J. Thomson was discovered what, these electron, right? So I repeat, there is a long discharge tube, right? This is called a discharge tube, and we have at the end of it we have two electrodes, cathode as well as anode, and the whole thing we have connected with what, battery. And in the discharge tube we have a vacuum pump, right, which regulates our pressure. After making these things, what we are doing, we are decreasing the pressure, right? We are decreasing the pressure and increasing the electricity. That means this much voltage of current we are providing. After providing this much voltage of current, some of the indivisible rays are moving from cathode to anode. That means cathode is negatively charged, means whatever the rays moves from cathode to anode, definitely they will be having what, negative charge, and negatively charged species are called what, electron, right? Like how he has discovered the electrons. And now so discovery of proton is also same, dear students, right? We will be having a vacuum pump. So next, discovery of protons. Positive charge one we can say. Discovery of protons. Right. Proton is nothing but positive charge. You just reverse this. If rays are moving from anode to cathode, then definitely there will be what, protons. So now see here, proton was discovered by Rutherford and Goldstein, right? Rutherford and Goldstein. These are the two scientists who has discovered the proton by taking same discharge tube. Again I repeat, there is a long discharge tube. Again in the discovery of proton also we are taking the same thing. That means long discharge tube, and we are, at the end of it we are having two electrodes, cathode as well as the anode, and which is connected with the battery. And now we have vacuum pump at the in discharge tube, which regulates the pressure. And now same thing we will do. We decrease the pressure up to 10 raised to minus 4 atmospheric pressure, and we increase our voltage up to 10,000 volt. And now some of the some of the indivisible ray move from anode to cathode. like this. Now the direction will be like this, cathode to anode. That means, see sir, you are saying that same thing we are doing, how you can find it out, proton as well as neutron, electron is nothing but, see, in case of proton, electron, the material whatever we took here as an anode and cathode are different, right? So you don't think that the same thing, how it will be possible. Sometime the rays are moving from cathode to anode, and sometime anode to cathode, how it will be possible? Okay, doubt is correct. But the thing is, in case of electron, we will take different electrodes, right? It is the matter of electrode. So that's why by making same arrangement only, we are having different directions, right? So here the main important thing is the electrodes. So in case of electron, discovery for electron, J.J. Thomson took different electrodes, and now Rutherford and Goldstein, while the discovery of proton, they took different electrodes. So that's why now the some of the individual ray move from anode to cathode. If they are moving from anode to cathode, that means whatever the rays moves from anode, they will be having what? Positive charge, and definitely that will be what? Proton, right? And these rays are called as canal rays. If right, if the individual ray move from anode to cathode, then those are called as what? Canal rays. This is the extra point during what? Protons. So dear student, you go through the book. Really, you will get some more points on these proton as well as the electron. Later, if you have any doubt, please do ask. Right? Thank you.